I am going live right now. I am Yahira Lobos, and this is me. I was going to go on Facebook, but I really feel called right now. Oh my goodness. I have a Lyra star in the house. This is my puppy. I am Yahira Lobos, and this is my puppy, a Lyra star. She really just wants to say hello. If anybody would like an actual read-in with me, I'm doing a sale for $50 in the sliding scale to 111. So if you would like to pay $50 for 1 hour, that's what I'm doing. I am the founder of Crystal Nations Collective, and I am making beautiful selenite wands right now. And I have a lot of gemstones and crystals that are available that are for sale. And I'm going to be making grid sets with the angels. This is some lapis. I have a lot of fetishes, animals. Yay. Let's see. Let me change the trajectory of where I'm. Let's see. La 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 la. There's all the kachinas. Yeah, there we go. That's actually really better. Okay. And I want to kind of make it a little bit nicer. So it's the little things. My puppy might go and jump in on the bed, and that's fine. And I want a few more oracle decks. Hold on. I'm very grateful for the decks that I'll be pulling cards from. And let's just get right into it. I want to say thank you to all of our benefic guides and ancestors. Behind me, I have a beautiful altar with a candle lit. And all earlier this morning, I've been in prayer, meditation. I was in Alberto Velado's shamanic ceremony for the full moon here in Gemini at 13 degrees. I'm so grateful right now. I just want to say thank you to all of our benefic guides of the north, the east, the west, the south, above, below, within. And I ask everybody to just close their eyes and take a moment here as we are to get grounded. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. We release out the mouth. Let's take another deep breath in. Let's just connect to Mother Earth. Let's imagine pulling up that silver energy of Mother Earth from the earth and then pull it all the way through each chakra from your root, going all the way up the sacral, solar, heart, throat, third eye, crown, up the next 3 chakras till you get to the source of all that there is, and then pulling down some golden light of the Divine Father, Son, and connect in the Sacred Heart through your breath. Let's just take a deep breath in, pulling up that silver energy all the way to the Divine Sun source, and then imagine that we are being showered with golden light through every cell of our bodies, reaching into the earth below our feet. May all that no longer serves us dissolve into nothingness. We ask all of your and my benefic guides of the northeast, west, south, above, below, within to come and be with us right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We want to welcome everybody and say that this is our full moon right now in Gemini. This is the last full moon here that is happening for 2025. I've been working as an oracle for the last, 13 years, traveling around North America. I've been gifted the tarot in 1995 following a dream. So I have been reading the tarot since then, but it wasn't until I got sober in 2012. And I kind of followed that higher self, that voice that was within my being to redirect me. I got to see what. My puppy found something. She almost made a big mess. Sorry about that. So many of us in 2012 actually heard the voice of the clarion call. I would say that we were all truly starting to wake up on another level. I've always known and have been connected to source, God, creator, angels, the afterlife. My mom died in 1981 when I was 9. And unfortunately, through that really traumatic event, I had to really connect to my higher self. And, I heard a voice tell me that when I was 12, I was asked, who are you waiting to come and save you? I was crying, looking out the same bay window in my living room, and I would just gaze out to the trees, and I would look at the tops of the trees and the wind carrying my prayer, which was, come and help me. I'm alone and I'm sad, and my mother died, and I'd be crying, and life wasn't good, and we were really neglected, me and my siblings. My dad had to go to work. It was, the times, right? Back in the 80s, nobody was really talking about cancer, and everything was shushed under the rug. And I'm Gen X, the indigo star seed race that are the structure busters, who actually came here to Earth to put an end to the human suffering and call out all of the systems, structures, belief systems, perspectives, values that no longer serve humanity. We are the ones that were like, something's wrong here. And we were those of us that were activated at a young age through trauma, were activated with that trauma because that was our choice to come here as a volunteer to experience certain things that caused human suffering and separation so that we could awaken to better solutions and systems and belief systems and perspectives and values that would better assist us in healing ourselves mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, and remembering thyself and retract all of those lost parts and fragmented parts of our soul so that we can be whole again. Many people have a lot of issues with not really knowing who they are. They're really insecure on a deep level. And a lot of people have a lot of masks and their facades, and it's people pleasing, and it's being silent, not using one's voice. And these are the old ways of the paradigm, the patriarchal paradigm, in which, many of us light workers came here to kazam that, we're here to dissolve and call out the corruption, the abuse, the separation, the hierarchy as well that has been abusing its power for a millennia of time. Human beings in my lifetime, I was born in 1971, and up until just recently, people had maybe 60, 70, 80 years, typical. And now people are wanting and desiring and also living till 100, 111, 115, 120. It's becoming a thing where hundreds of years ago, the Sumerians and many of the monks, even monks now in Tibet and Sri Lanka, in Japan and China, they have lived hundreds of years. humankind has been dumbed down by the media, by the indoctrination of the colonial peoples that came here to take over our culture of the Native Americans that lived simply off the land. It's the prophecies now where we have to right what we wronged. And that means all of us as a collective ancestrally. We are looking at the constellations of the families that are from the stars as above and so below, the indigenous ones who were the caretakers, the stewards of this earth. In 2012, when I started to travel around North America, I really didn't know much about I would say that since I was young, I was facilitating my own ceremonies and sacred circles on Halloween and New Year's Eve. Nobody ever taught me how to bring people together in a circle, to have a fire, to cast oils and herbs in them, to say prayers, to write down what I wanted to let go of on a piece of paper, throw it to the fire, and then make a wish on the new year. And nobody really taught me about that, but I started to get attracted to the books and the authors and the movers and shakers. And eventually, when I remember, I think I was 21 when I had a near life death experience. I did. I died and came back. And I eventually, at 27, moved out here to New Mexico after living in the Carolinas and the Cherokees for 3 years when I had my first awakening at 23. 21, 23, I was living in the Carolinas and I got activated by the native Cherokee codes of how to live off this land in a simple way, in a sacred way. And then when I moved to Santa Fe, New Mexico in 1999, I was 27 and I was able to meet a lot of people that were spiritual leaders and read about all of the things in the metaphysical shops. And Santa Fe, New Mexico is a portal and a hub for the spiritual communities and has a lot of higher conscious beings here, healers, curanderas, master teachers. They specialize in art and music, and expansion of consciousness is what a lot of people are about living out here. And so they're really prone to knowing a lot about the indigenous people, since there's 21 northern New Mexico pueblos that live here. So I live amongst the natives. To me, they are the peoples, that this is the land that I'm coming to live upon. And it was very sacred when I got here in 99. We recently went through all the cities since 2020, gentrification, but I would also say a spiritual hijacking of the souls of many of our cities. And that's part of the message that I'm going to bring in for this full moon in Gemini, is that we are taking our power back. We're remembering who we are. We are the sacred stewards of this earth. A lot of the traditional ways and the ways in which the indigenous are the caretakers of this earth, protecting the waters from the pipelines that carry oil. Why would we put pipelines in some of the most sacred lands, which are threatened to erupt, leaking oil in some of our acequias that carry the most sacred waters from New Mexico to the headwaters of the Midwest to all around the globe? We want to protect our sacred waters. We want to protect our ecosystems, our coral reefs, our finned ones, our winged ones from the chemical trails. We want to protect our air from chemical trails. We want to protect our soils from the GMOs, the artificial, actual cancerous chemicals that they put in our food. Our food bought in supermarkets is cancer, all of it. So in the future, we're all growing our own food if you want to be healthy and don't want cancer. Cancer does come from the food, from the chemical trails, from the oil in the water. What contaminates this earth is what we need to protect this earth from. And it's our human right to be able to protect our human rights making sure that all of humanity has water, food, and a home, and a right to education. We're going to have to update the whole freaking value system, because money that is made from trees does not need to be cut and made into these little pieces of paper, which to me is a value in of the trees that give us the breath of life. It is backwards. That is a black magic voodoo trick that many of the people in power, the 1%, these families that they speak of, the royalty, they will be exposed in the next couple of years. You know, we talk about the Rockefellers, and we talk about the politicians and the families and the Reagan administration and all the people that were connected to the Epstein files, and all the people that are connected to the sex trafficking and the human trafficking, all the drug paraphernalia, all the gun paraphernalia, and all of the military weapons that is being used. Why are we building weapons that are taking billions of dollars when we have people starving? We have to get our whole value system corrected. And if you're out there listening to this video, I pray to God that you and your children and your families have conversations around the tree, around the dinners. And holiday time is about time that we start to do something different than what we used to do. I know that since 2020, the world has had an awakening. We're going through the dark night of our soul. We are in the great purification. As I traveled around North America, I got to rub elbows with some of the greatest spiritual leaders, movers and shakers of the eagle and condor prophecies that are being fulfilled around the globe. I myself was able to become a coordinator, as the Transformational Music and Art Festivals is how I became a volunteer in North America. It's how I decided to travel and share my light, my wisdom, my oracle readings. I gifted thousands of crystals. You know, I collected a lot of angel wing selenite that activated many people in grids that I built, medicine wheels. I built, how cool, that looks like a real feather, right? You see that? I gave away thousands of pieces of crystals, and I did readings, and I facilitated a medicine wheel ceremony here in Santa Fe from 2013 to 2020. We're just now getting ready to, we already started the rebuilding of a big rainbow medicine water wheel here in Santa Fe, New Mexico. My whole point in sharing all of this is that many of us light workers have been going through different phases of evolving. Humanity has been going through different phases of waking up and remembering who we are, instead of allowing the matrix or the 3D, or let's just say the materialism and greed of this world govern this world. We are the ones that are dismantling the lies that we've been told by sharing our truths, our life stories, our experiences, what we've actually showed up to experience, what happened to us, our real life story of what we experienced, what we witnessed. Where were we when we were growing up? What did we experience that was a part of society that was no longer serving society? What projects, what jobs, what institutions, what doctrinations, where in culture and religion, or in your family dynamics, in your value systems or your belief systems, where you actually participate in behaviors and models of thinking and behaving that were not beneficial to you, that were not of the light, that were not healthy? What were we allowing ourselves to promote and to eat and to wear and to do, right? I mean, I am a recovered drug addict and a survivor of all abuses. And I've been on this journey since 2012 with being a part of the great purification means that we are here to purify our body, mind, heart, and soul. And so I've been on this hero's journey doing my shadow and soul work so that when it's time for us to come together to implement these blueprints for the new earth, that we step into our sovereignty with our great remembrance of who we are, and we stand in our power and we rise. Those blueprints that I'm speaking about are visions and dreams, ideas that many of us have had since we were born, witnessing what is out of alignment, that doesn't resonate, that doesn't feel good, that doesn't bring love and joy into our lives. What's wrong with this world? How is it out of balance? Who is abusing the systems of this world? How are these systems broken? Who is corrupt? What is corruption? Who caused separation from their higher selves? Why are all these beings here on earth walking through this world feeling confused, not knowing who they really are, being disconnected from their birthright? Why? Why has humanity allowed this to go on for thousands of years? So slavery, right, is ended. Human suffering on the basis of slavery, greed, fear, right? In order to go through the great purification right now, we're going to confront our fears head on. And as we do, we take our power back. I really have been going through it for years, my whole life, and I'm one of the light workers that took on a lot, of human suffering from the beginning of my days here on earth. I started with being born backwards with 2 broken ribs, and I've experienced, early childhood molestation, and unfortunately through my childhood drug use and alcohol use, I experienced, sexual abuse, rape, domestic abuse. These things might sound hard to hear, but many people have suffered from these abuses. I chose in this lifetime to come in to end it. I guess one of the ways that I saw that we could end it is that when you experience something, it becomes yours to transmute, transcend. So there's also the wisdom that comes from the people that are victims that can share with the world how to end victimhood. And that's why I'm here. I know that the younger generations after me, because I did suffer a lot, and many of you that suffered a lot in this lifetime as well. I've been ostracized for speaking truth. I've had 7-year life-death experiences, my traumas that I just expressed. I lost my mother at a really young age. I moved around more times than I can, wow, most people, 58 homes I've had, and I lived in 6 different states, and I've experienced being ostracized more than once, like 7 different times. My job, my family, my Catholic school that I started out in for 8 years. I actually, so in this lifetime, I suffered a lot from being mentally ill. I wasn't really grounded, and I felt bipolar and manic and depressed, suicidal, up until I got sober off of hard crack and alcohol. And I share these things because, we all have a history, right? And I'm not ashamed of mine, and I'm no longer living in the pain of it either. At 54 years old, I can tell you that I spent 35 years in counseling, and I've been in many workshops and vision quests and detoxes and counseling and groups and different types of healing modalities that I've practiced, like EMDR and EFT, emotional freedom tapping. And I've been able to do ceremony and pray and really be educated and get certified in healing modalities that now bring me to the place where I can share how being a survivor and being a volunteer here on earth is some of the next steps for many of us. I'm not the only one. I'm just here as a broadcast and conduit, a messenger here on the full moon in Gemini. Everything that I'm speaking about is going to be shared, and I'm probably going to put it on Facebook. I thought I was going to go on Facebook. I thought I was going to put red lipstick on. I thought all these different things. And Creator wanted me to come here directly and share what needs to be shared, because in 2026, as we're having this last full moon, it's really going to amplify our emotions about what we really need to continue to purge and let go of. Listen, since 2020 to now, 2012 to 2020 was almost like, I would say that was like the second wave of star seeds waking up, traveling around the globe, sharing their seeds or their blueprints with the world, activating many of the portals to open. We've had many ceremonies doing a lot of healing, a lot of reconnecting, a lot of collaborating, a lot of clearing, a lot of educating. And there are many, many, many people that are behind this new earth coming into fruition. There are many different prophecies that have been shared around the globe, from Sri Lanka to Hawaii to Kenya to Japan, China, the Native Americans, the Hopi, the Zuni, the Pueblo peoples, right? We have the revelations, people are waiting for the second coming of Christ. There's even a rainbow prophecy from the Lemurians, which is a galactic race, a race in which many of us were a part of at one point. We are multidimensional beings. We are star seeds. We are also indigenous to this earth. We are so much more ancient than many people can even fathom. Most people didn't even know how old this earth was. They thought it was only 2,000 years old. Many people are misinformed about Jesus, the fossils of this earth. It doesn't quite. And there really is no Yeshua coming down from the sky, In the Revelations, when they talk about the second coming, many people are sitting here on earth thinking that that's their savior, but that's the message I got when I was 12. Nobody's coming to save anybody. In fact, Jesus didn't sign up to save anybody. He was murdered, okay? And he came back. He rebirthed. How did Jesus come back to life? Does anybody ask the bigger question? If you believe that we are eternal, what is it that you truly believe? That Jesus died on the cross? That they whipped him, nailed him, and beat him, and thorned him, crowned him? And that he came back, what? To save everybody and tell everybody we're eternal? Why would everybody become eternal? That's a lie. That's not even, all of that's not even the truth. It's a lie, all of it. There are many people that are actually taken apart the Bible and what was written. And there are many channels here on earth that started to tell the real story of Jesus Christ, Yeshua, Yahweh, and Mary Magdalene. And it's important that you know the true story, because as emissaries of light, the volunteers that are here from all different corners of the earth, Hopi prophesies in their prophecy. And in Revelations, they speak about the 144,000 light workers. And in the Lemurian rainbow prophecy, they speak of winged ones coming from all corners of the earth. No matter what prophecy you're absolutely looking at, we're looking at being here as humans at a historical monumental moment in time and space. And so we have a choice. And in the Hopi prophecy, they say that there is a moment, which that moment was 2012, that the earth would start to divide. 2020, it started to increase that divide. And there are people that are going to choose the higher ground, the heart, being connected to the source, acknowledging Mother Earth, energy, the divine source, the Father. There's like no one God in the sky, so to speak, and that consciousness of humanity is going to awaken, because actually we've been really dumbed down and we believed some really retarded shit. That's the truth. We believed in some really crazy shit. I mean, if you actually say it out loud, slow enough, and look at somebody serious enough and have people really listen, you'll know that most of what we've been told is a lie and is crazy. So many of us are remembering who we are. And in 2026, you'll see a lot of awakened beings that have given their life decades, their whole entire life. For me, 54 years of suffering, of researching, of learning, of finding different solutions, trying different ones. Our lives are dedicated to finding a solution and creating something so that we can leave behind a better legacy for our children, so that there is clean water, so that there is clean air, so that we have clean soil, good food that is healthy, that we grow. The indigenous peoples of this land is not just the Native Americans here in North America. The indigenous peoples are from all 7 continents. And these peoples are the ones that are the stewards of this earth, the elements, the water, the earth, the air, the fire, all of our thundra and floral, all of our stone beings, all of our animals and creatures, our winged ones, our finned ones, our flower kingdom, our herbal kingdom, our plant kingdom, our tree kingdom. This is the gold of our earth. The resources of this earth, the minerals of this earth are sought after and used. And Pachamama is a cosmic being that demands to be cared for, protected, loved, and thanked. We're not here to just live off her back and trash her. There's a responsibility to living on the land and to caretaking the ecosystems. I'm flabbergasted when I see the amount of pollution on the streets everywhere around the globe. Why are people throwing trash out on the streets? Here in North America, it is horrendous. You're disgusting, whoever does this. Here in Santa Fe, in the last few months, I've picked up 8 bags of garbage, and I won't stop. That's one of the things that I do as a sacred steward of this earth, to caretake her. What do you do? So it's important to ask yourself that question for going into 2026. How do you help preserve what is sacred here on earth? Pick floral, a thundra, an animal, a human right, and protect Mother Earth and our rights, please. The second thing is heal yourself. Learn to love yourself without going onto the deep end. There is light and dark within all of us. We're not perfect. The best that we can do in this great purification is own all of who we are, all of the thoughts and actions that we have taken. Make amends, pay your karmic dues, make peace with your family, your lineage, the dysfunctions that have been handed down, clean it the fuck up. Do your best to stop any and all addictions that do not serve you or this planet. Sugar addictions, animal eating addictions, addictions to drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, money, greed, cars, stupidity. And I just have a big message to any of the people that are out there that are revving their cars at really loud sounds. It throws everything off balance. Chaos is loud. And if you're driving a vehicle and blasting your music and you have an exhaust system and an engine that's just scary, and you're revving your engine and you're speeding and you're an animal and you're road raging, that is another thing. If you're out there road raging, holy crap, that is awful energy. Are you complaining? Are you walking around complaining about your life every day? Because if you are, shut up. You're only going to absolutely attract more of what you don't want. Plus, every time you complain, you're dumping your shit and your negative energy on other beings that are innocent and do not deserve that negativity, that negative energy. It is evil. It is an entity. You have to clear that demon from your eyes, ears, nose, heart, and soul. That is your job. Do not put negativity and profanity and foul into the earth, into any room or home. Listen, I was one with a big mouth, New York, profanity in this absolute video. I don't believe I cursed at all. It's taken a lot for me to be highly conscious of the words that I use, but I'm ready to step into a higher version of me and let all of that old egoic, whatever personality. I worked with at-risk youth. And so working with at-risk youth, runaways, kids struggling with, self-esteem, drug addiction, anger, and also neurodivergency, mental health issues. They got a kick out of me, the Franny, who would, cuss up like a storm and be a truck driver. But we really have to go forward in 2026, and all of us have to evolve and be a better way shower. I'm 54, and, I get that I am more of a model for the younger generations. I know a lot of the youth based on the transformational music and art festivals. So you have to think about who you're attracting to you based on who you are and what influence do you have, and how are you using that in a good way to support yourself and your family and your community to get through these really hard times. In 2026, we are so excited to have so many people step up and emerge. Are you one of the light workers that has been working diligently, say in the last year or 2 or 3 even, writing your book, getting your music together, your art? Did you have a beautiful vision of starting a nonprofit organization or a council? Or is there a certain modality of healing or a ceremony that you're going to be sharing with us? We can't wait to hear from your creative side and the performances that are going to come out, the different lines of healing, everything from soaps to lotions to products that we need for our body to keep ourselves and our well-being healthy. Beautiful new arrangements of food and ways to prepare food, and just brilliant ideas of how to regenerate our bodies and our minds, and ways that we could also create new homes using permaculture and solar energy, and using natural materials to build our homes and our healing centers. I'm so excited about all the healing centers that are that will birth in the next couple of years. We have many like-minded, like-hearted people coming together to birth different missions and visions of intentional communities that will be eco-villages, that will be sustainable. They'll grow their own food and have clean water, and it'll be beautiful, safe, sacred spaces. And right now, that is one of the things that is up in the astrology. And I also wanted to share with you something else. Let me share with you a little bit about what I did, some research on how this full moon is coming for all of us, and what we can really take some time out to do. And I might pull some cards with us as well. To all of you that were listening, a little bit about my story and about the light workers today and going into 2026. If you have any questions, please let me know. I am only charging $50 for a 1-hour read-in. Okay, I could charge $111 for an hour read-in. I am really frugal with my time. I'm literally stepping into my power, as the last 20 months has been a really big moment for me to get sovereign and find my apartment. And I have my wolf dog and my health, and I'm still sober through leaving a 6-year relationship. But I did it because I believe that if any of us are stuck in the old, outdated models of life, That is a timeline that you can get stuck on. And I want everybody to know that what's happening with today's actual full moon in Gemini is that it's happening at 13 degrees. It's happening at 6:14 Eastern time. And it's a super moon. It's like the cold moon. And it's really amplifying our emotions. The energy is amped up. How are you feeling right now? It is 4:26 and the full moon is in its depth right now. So I do want to pull a card from the Akashic Records at this moment just to see what message comes through immediately for all of us that are here now and that will come in the future. Let's just take a deep breath in. I'd like to connect to the Akashic Record Oracle and ask my spirit guides to connect with all those that are here on YouTube and Facebook and all of the other social media platforms that I'll be connecting to today. But let's just do YouTube right now. All those, what messages do we have for our YouTubers right now and those on Facebook? So there are two really great. Right now we're working on our root chakra. And this is a picture of a vibrant red. Here we go. And this is what we can visualize when we want to bring a beautiful red, a fire red, into our root chakra, which is at the base of our spine, to bring in grounding and balance. It can help us build a solid foundation for our lives. And the root chakra is helping us to examine our practical earth needs. It is the first chakra, energy center, that is the place of where all things grow. Our root chakra determines our self-esteem, our ability to feel safe, to be in our body, to feel secure, to have self-esteem. To have a solid foundation means that you have a financial security. The root chakra is also connected to our family, the roots, Mother Earth. And this is to connect us, to balance us, to clear our root chakra with this red illuminating light. We would bring in from the earth that root energy into our root chakra, which is below in the back of our bodies. I would say it is here at the base, right? Or it's below on the buttock, right? But you can pull up the energy of Mother Earth into your root chakra and circulate that energy in a 360 radius that goes clockwork, bringing in the red energy in a circular form. And just imagine that that blood red is going into every crevice of your energy center, and imagine it creating a circular tidal wave of color that goes into every cell, every ligament, every bone and muscle in that energy center, just in your physical body, just filling up your entire root chakra with a vibrant blood red, which is also right here. And then as you're releasing, you could just imagine you're releasing all of the dark spots or the energies that was stuck inside of that root chakra. And it can go out, going around, circling around the opposite direction, not clockwise, but counterclock. So what's also happening right now is that we're aligning with this grounding energy to help us move into and take action on our practical needs. And so what self-care, what actions do you need to take care of your body? Are you feeling sore? Do you need rest? Do you need meat? Do you need red vegetables for your root chakra? Would you like to wear red to strengthen your aura for your root chakra? What can you do? And then if this card or the root chakra, it may pertain to somebody that you might have in question. And if you're thinking about a certain person in your life that's affecting you or influencing you greatly, they are motivated only by the material world. And that is a message to be aware of greed and to use your discernment. And this card sometimes can come up in a past life if you haven't had safety and the security that you needed. So, are you feeling safe in the world today? Are there any phobias or fears that are affecting you and your psychology, your psychosis? Is there any psychosis going on? Is there any fears that are blocking you or inhibiting you or restricting you to be able to go forward, to go to work, to be a part of a project? Is there any being that you are in relation to that is toxic, that is giving you insecurities or questioning who you are? Because anything that's in your physical environment, people, places, things, addictions, this affects the root chakra. So you must clear any of those things out in order to have a good life and a best life. You're being asked to clean this all up before next year. You need to get it together. Yeah. And I'm going to share also that this right now it's 4:33 and we had an activation of the full moon just at 6:14 Eastern time, but it's at 4:14 here in Denver time, Mountain time. And I just wanted to let everybody know that the energy might be amped up for you right now at home. And right now we have like an axis happening with Gemini's air sign. And we also have a Sagittarius axis, which is bringing in a lot of information right now, a lot of truth, a lot of stories that we are listening to. And we're really looking at what we believe in. And this Gemini moon is a lot about words. We're paying attention to how our words affect us, what we're telling ourselves in our head, what we're telling other people, what we're saying out loud is a spell. Writing, words, speaking, it's all alchemy. Using the air of our breath, the water of our bodies, and the fire of our hearts. We are alchemists. Spelling is the ability to use magic and create the life that you either want or don't want. And part of what we weren't told when we were children was how to co-create with the divine, that you are the divine, that you are source energy, and that you get to create the life that you want. And yeah, whatever you think and say is going to be what you create. If you don't believe me, check out Abraham Hicks on YouTube, or check out Joe Dispenza. Joe Dispenza is a scientist, quantum physics, and he talks about rewiring the brain and how powerful our thoughts and our subconscious dictates the life that we have. Check him out on YouTube. Get a whole download right there. This Gemini moon is also going to ask every human soul right now, hey, what story are you telling yourself? And what have you been saying up until this moment in time and space? It doesn't matter what age you are, but what story have you been telling yourself and other people about who you think you really are, why you're really here, what you're really doing? What are you really thinking, right? And who's really in your life that you need to keep, and who's in your life that you need to let go of? Because this Gemini moon is really going to have us take a look at the big picture and really tap into what meaning we're given to our lives, what we're saying, who's in it, what they're saying, and what do you really believe? What are you really doing? Where are you going? Do you know? Do you have an idea? Are you just blah, 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 blah? Or you allowing just anybody to dictate you? Are you people pleasing? Are you just following whatever leader? Are you questioning who the leaders are? Are you really using your discernment? So these are some big questions. This full moon is literally a pressure point around saying what's like not been said. So it's really tapping into the taboo. I have like 4 planets in Scorpio. Holla! We're letting go of a lot of mental clutter and dead end conversations, small talk, and everything is really viable with our eyes now. If people are full of shit, if they don't really mean what they're saying, if they don't really care about who the fuck you are, there goes the curse word, then you're going to notice it because all of our eyes are that much more open. Cancel culture that just took place in the last couple of years really helped people get into this space of really seeing that a lot of people might not really care about you when they say that they do. Cliques, crowds, people coming together, everybody being an acquaintance, everybody being a part of a community where everybody's one and one for all. Everybody's going to get to the nitty gritty on that and find out what really matters, who really matters, what people really think. You know, no more people pleasing when masks and facades. That's all going to the wind. That's all being burned in the fire. And this full moon actually is going to be all about owning our own voice. And we're not going to be scattering our energy to all these places and people and things that don't matter. And we're not going to be spreading ourselves thin because we need to focus. And that's what 2026 is going to be way more about, is focusing our energy on the life that we desire to create. Okay? We are going to find more of our soul tribe as we allow all of these things to just let go. If you want to work with the full moon tonight, you know, you might want to take a little time to do an exercise. There's like this piece of paper you can take out, right? It's like an air sign kind of practice that you can do. But on a piece of paper on a left-hand side, make a column and write conversations, connections, commitments that I'm done with. And then on the right column, write conversations, connections, commitments that I'm devoted to. And then be brutally honest. Look at what you're letting go of. And by the way, the left represents the divine feminine, the great mystery, the great void. And so whatever you really feel that you're done with, you could write that down. And on the right column, you could write what you're really devoted to. Since it's a full moon, I like to burn these. We're in the air sign, and I know we're also working with Sagittarian energy. So having a fire ceremony, Alberto Villado is a shaman from the Four Worlds Visions Mystery School in Peru. And earlier today, I did a fire ceremony with him. He's on YouTube, Alberto Villado, Villolodo. Find him, his wife, Marcela Lobos. They have a fire purification ceremony. So in the little search bar, put that in and he'll show you in 11 minutes how to do a fire purification ceremony and also a different one on how to connect with your ancestors. And I suggest both of those videos for everybody who wants to do some ceremony work with the fire. And at the end of this year, for the full moon, to release what no longer serves. But sometimes on the same piece of paper that we're burning, we can write down what commitments we're ready to be done with, and people, and what commitments that we're devoted to, and what people in our family, friends are we devoted to. Let's write down the commitments and the people on the right and left, okay? And then just speak your story out loud, like underneath the moon or by the fire, you know, just say something like, I choose clear, honest, heartful connections. I release all contracts based in separation, fear, confusion, manipulation, greed, trauma bonding. And I call in all of my benefic meaning good allies, ancestors, guides, students, and partners who are ready to work with me from the sacred heart that I truly carry. And let your actual words just flow. Use your own words, make it yours. It doesn't have to be, I'm just giving you a baseline for what to do. Some of the crystals that you might want to work with this evening is going to be blue lace agate or aquamarine. I also had, yes, I love this. Because blue, here it is. If anybody has blue obsidian, I love blue obsidian. So it's a really great, one of my favorite crystals. And this is blue obsidian. That is a root chakra crystal, but it also connects to your throat and it helps you release. So you might want to chant tonight or let go and scream or sing or play the flute or use your throat chakra to just release anything that's stuck in your throat. And we're choosing calm, clear communication. If you have aquamarine would be another great stone. Blue obsidian or aquamarine is great for clear, calm communication. And then we have, hold on. I love this. Labradorite, psychic protection while you speak your truth. We bring the light, the iridescence of this crystal into the light. We bring light into the darkness. The iridescence of this labradorite, which is the golden and like green and blue colors, assist us in developing spiritually to expand our consciousness and to clear our energy fields and bring in this iridescence, this magic, the possibility of magic, alchemy, healing into our life. Love it. The blue brings in tranquility and clarity and serenity. So you could use this for psychic protection. It's really good on your third eye and to clear your third eye and to protect you while you speak your truth. You can use it also on your throat chakra to bring in the color of the blue ray and to give you the ability to speak clearly. I speak clearly my truth with tranquility and calm communication. And then we have loving this crystal. This is a Lemurian pyramid. I love this crystal. I've been holding it for 2 days. I'm about to put it on the top of this selenite wand that I made with copper wire and amethyst and chalcedony, beautiful beads. And I have a fluorite or an amethyst moon. Do you love it? And the clear quartz is another crystal that you can work on this full moon to amplify your intentions. So if you want to do candle magic this evening, I love candle magic. I highly suggest to anybody this book that might want to work with candle magic. But this is practical candle magic that you can, Rachel Patterson, but I use I use any one of the and I use oils and herbs and sigils, or you can, mark a sigil or a rune in the candle, roll it in herbs or oils that are going to accentuate your intention or your wish, or you're releasing, healing, creating, manifesting. And, you pray, you create an altar. You might use crystals in a grid. I kind of do that. And this book has amazing recipes for everything that you can think of. Candle magic spells for growth and abundance, for prosperity, for new beginnings, for fertility, for success, for luck, for inspiration and creativity, all different reasons for you to work with candles. It is fire. It is grandfather fire that allows us to work with the element in the ability to come from our sacred heart and to manifest in this 3D world things like a great job and a home and love. It's good to place your intentions and prayers into the universe and really acknowledge that this is how all of the world is going to go forward. We're no longer going to be held back. We're not going to be burned at the stake or murdered for who we are. Yes, a lot of us got attacked for speaking truth. I did for many times in my life and got ostracized, but that doesn't matter anymore because we have overcome. Many of us are back and we've been through the 7 gates of hell and we have graduated and we are here to step into our mastery, rise up for 2026 and step into the greatest version of who we are, choosing our highest timeline, making a lot of success and prosperity and a new way. Be open to the new for this full moon. So using those 3 candles are going to be really great. You can hold these crystals at any one of your energy centers, your chakras. It's really important that every human soul, whether you're a light worker or not, knows what your energy centers are. Your crown, your third eye, your throat, your heart, your solar, your sacral is your belly button. And like I said, between your legs is your root, right? We have more than 7 chakras. We have 22 chakras. So what are those, right? We have 2 earth stars and 3 above our head. And it's important to know about your energy centers. This is what creates your aura, the light around your body. And we really need to start connecting to our higher self. And I know that many people that I know in my life, as I'm on Facebook and I have 5,000 friends there, and I've been on Instagram and TikTok there, and I travel around North America, many people are awakening and many people know the language I'm speaking today. And we are just so grateful for the expansion of consciousness. Despite how messy it looks on Earth, we are going to get this, okay? This full moon right now, it's not really here to coddle any one of us. If you're feeling like you need to make changes, you need to let go of some addictions, people, places, things, you need to be more open to a new perspective and belief system. You need to, go to school, find a mentor, or actually really work on your purification of body, mind, heart, and soul, then do it. Ain't nobody going to do this for you. Nobody can do anything for you. In this world, many people are thinking, I can't do this alone. It's too much. I know. But we're the ones that actually can handle what we're being given. And the gift here in this full moon is knowing that there's so much more, guys. We have so much more expanding to do. So much more purification in that subconscious of what we really believe. We're still continuing to uplift humanity with having higher values of self-love and care, right? That's becoming a thing now. It's like the new black, right? To be conscious and to love yourself. Wow. We're not just giving ourselves away to anybody anymore. And it's very recognizable when other people are using tactics of manipulation. We're understanding that when we're having a long conversation and we feel drained after that, we need to ask the right questions about whether that person is in alignment for us. Are the people, the places, the things, the belief systems, and the behaviors of what you do on a daily, is that helping you create the life that you want, or is some of that hindering you? It's time. In the last few weeks, as we are closing in on the direction of the West in the medicine wheel, I close with this. We are the ones that are taking responsibility for what we think, because it can create our emotions. If we keep thinking a certain way, it will create an emotion. Those two will create your law of attraction. It will create your reality. So is it in alignment, or is it not meeting you? And can you update what you're thinking? Can you update what you're doing? Can you clear what no longer serves you? This is the end of half-hearted bullshit connections, okay? The false lights will continue to be called out. Everybody can handle what's coming their way. Natural disasters will continue to happen. The earth is not just going to implode. Jesus is not just going to show up. We are the ones that get to make choices every day that have consequences. What are your choices doing for yourself and the world and your family? You matter. We all matter. And what we've been told is that we really don't. And everybody's been playing small. And everybody has a shit ton of trauma. And everybody needs to get over their effing selves. And we need to be really compassionate. We need to take time to slow down. Everything's not done in 2 seconds. Anything good takes a long, long time to create. It's the curating and the creating, the doting, the time that you take to care, to plant, to water the seeds. This is what we're saying. We are going to commit to our heart projects and to people that actually move our mission forward. I am the founder of Crystal Nations Collective. I'm building rainbow medicine wheels around North America to unify all colors, creeds, and religions back to the sacred circle, back to the sacred heart, because we all matter. We all have a piece of the puzzle, a blueprint, a gift, a mission, a talent that can help the world out. All you have to do is love yourself enough to find out what is that, what moves you, what do you love, what do you love to do, what do you love to speak, what do you love to listen to, where do you love to be? Show us. The solution to the new earth is the heart. It's having compassion. It's being able to speak the truth, your truth, to be held accountable and to be held in integrity, to find community. Unity in community is what rocks my rolling. You know what I'm saying? And if there's anything that you can do that would change the world today, what is that? If you were only going to live another year, what would you do in this world? What's on your bucket list? Because that bucket list should actually propel you forward to create your blueprint for the new earth. Now I'm doing readings for $50 for an hour. If you have the money to give me $111 for an hour, I would love that, because it's a sliding scale. So I'm doing a special for the end of the year because a lot of people don't have money. I am trained in the Akashic Records. I've been reading oracle cards, tarot cards, since I had a dream and was gifted them by a Celtic grandmother in this lifetime. I've been on this path of healing where I have 9 different modalities under my belt for Reiki, crystal healing, crystalline energy technique, inner resonance technologies. Not certified in that, but with Maureen Edwardson, I've learned how to do a touch therapy to release and reprogram your subconscious. So I do a very specific modality in my readings to help you choose your highest timeline. I work in the energetic field as a manifesting generator. I am Keeb, the galactic ferryman, the channel in the Mayan astrology. I am Mayan by my mother's side of the family. She is Mexican from San Luis Potosi, and my father comes from Italy, Bari, Italy, where I have that gypsy blood. So I have the medicine on both sides of my family, and I've been really gifted in this lifetime to be part of the 8th Fire Council for the Eagles and the Condors with Chief Phil Lane and Shonda Clausen. OneWorld.Earth is a beautiful platform that I'm promoting. If you're interested in seeing all of the movers and shakers, visionaries, artists, and musicians, we come from all parts of the world, all 7 continents. We are the protectors, the sacred stewards, the wisdom keepers here of this earth. We love Pachamama. You should come and check us out and create a profile and join our conversations and our watch parties and our ceremonies online. There are many events where we're streamlining and showcasing other people that are coming out of the closet. They are finally earning their wings and sharing their great works with all of the people as a community, a global community, creating peace here on earth where we're ending human suffering. This is the prophecy and the prophecies that we are fulfilling. We support all of the indigenous peoples, the grandmothers and the grandfathers through the 8th fire, which is part of the prophecy. The 8th fire we lit in 2023. It was lit in Mexico. The Kogi Colombians are the earth shamans of this planet that are the ones that have been of deep service in the remote parts of South America in Colombia, where they have been raised in a way that was very connected to Mother Earth through silence, through being connected consciously to the element of Mother Earth in a way that many of us were disconnected. They don't wear shoes and they don't wear synthetic clothing, and they eat everything they farm and grow and hunt. They're very connected to the earth. They are the ones that are giving us the messages of how to go forward as the original instructions come from our indigenous peoples. I really do hope that the younger generations care about the prophecies and care about some of these traditions of how to caretake Mother Earth. You know, we do have AI, and I love using ChatGPT to get all of my thoughts and organization because I'm neurodivergent, but I just want to give a heads up. And I also have my North Node in Aquarius, and I have Mars in Aquarius. So I'm really about community and technology and the development of how we can actually expand. And ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, does have some pluses, but we also need to be really aware that quicker and better and faster doesn't necessarily mean better for us. And what we really need to remember is that simple connection to Mother Earth. And we want to pay attention to how we use artificial intelligence, and we want to pay attention to respecting the people that are here on Earth as they come into their elder years as wisdom keepers. This message goes out to all of the young star seeds across North America and around the globe, but I can speak for North America only. Here in North America, I, Yahira Lobos, have acknowledged many of the youth being the wings beneath my wings. So if it wasn't for the youth showing me how to tap into my creativity, I don't know if I would ever be able to sing or create art. They really helped me open up my ability to feel joy and love myself and speak truth and stop people pleasing and really step into my power. And it was my elders that inspired me, that way showed for me how to really connect with Earth in the ways of these sacred ceremonies of the medicine wheels, the sweat lodges, the water ceremonies, the meditations, the qigong, the yoga, these practices that I've got to do with many around the globe have really helped me know who I am and purify and heal from a lot of the mental illness that I once felt. I no longer feel. when I moved here into this apartment 4 months ago, I felt really scared because it's a dangerous part of Santa Fe where there's a lot of crime and drugs and homelessness and scary shit, really. Loud sirens, just all kinds of shit. And we're being asked to be in our body, mind, heart, and soul to remember that we are the ancient ones who came back. And I don't allow fuckery in my field. And I am who I am. And I'm here to protect all that is sacred. And I use my voice a lot. And I'm loud when I need to be. And I ask the right questions and I represent. I'm always with my boots on the ground and I'm asking the right questions. I'm asking people if they're okay. I'm giving out donations when I could for money, for food, my time. I'm present. I'm here. I'm not separating myself. I'm learning how to walk towards that which I'm afraid of and to allow myself to be uncomfortable. That's what we're doing right now, so that we could all walk through this eye of the needle when we can let go of all this toxicity and separation and fear and greed. We're going to be a much better people. We are one nation, one heart, one love. I want to say thank you so much, giving thanks to everybody. We had one more card that came out, and I wanted to read it and end it with this because it's a powerful one. And this came from the Akashic Records. It's a shamanic journey and initiation. This is time to review the records for shamanic initiations and remember the ancient teachings. So are you being initiated in your lifetime right now? Is there some distant land that's calling you to go on a retreat? Make sure that your elders and teachers are in integrity. The soul journey in the past and the present life can reflect the journey of the shaman, and there might be times of light and there might be times of shadow. The tests that you overcome can make you stronger and focus on the highest outcome for your soul. So there's a possibility for you to connect to the earth shamanic gatekeepers or guardians to reclaim your gifts. And this situation is an initiation for your higher self to grow in wisdom on the spiritual ascension path. And this also could mean that you are ready to step through new doorways in life. And you also may have had a person that you're inquiring about that was once on the shamanic path with you. You might be thinking about them right now. And this might be a sign that they are with you. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that was here and present. I didn't get a chance to read the comments because my computer is different than my phone and it's all of that. Anyway, it's an hour and 17 minutes. I thought I would end here. Thank you so much to whoever's been here. Thank you. Aho and ahi.